Infinity, a word so small yet so vast it swallows everything: space, time, matter, thought. It is the ultimate concept, the edge of understanding, the horizon of logic. And yet the more we try to define it, the more it escapes us. Infinity is not a number, it's not a place, it's not a time. Infinity is everything and nothing. It is a paradox by its very nature. To begin understanding infinity, we must face this paradox. Infinity is a concept we can understand, but not one we can truly comprehend. We can write the symbol, we can say the word, we can visualize its implications, but we cannot truly hold it in our minds. Because our minds are finite, shaped by beginnings and endings, but infinity has no beginning, it has no end. That alone places it outside our mental reach. It lives just beyond the limits of what it means to be human. And yet it's real, more real than anything we can touch. Because if the concept exists, then it must be real. We imagine infinity, we observe its consequences in mathematics, in physics, in philosophy, and so by its very definition, its very presence in our thoughts, it already is. Infinity does not need to be proven, it needs only to be acknowledged. Just like the concept of God. And this is where the two merge. Infinity is God, not in a religious sense, but in a fundamental ontological one. Infinity is the ultimate being, not a person, not a deity in the sky, but the totality of all possibilities, an eternal consciousness made up of every moment, every object, every vibration of existence. If God is omnipotent, omniscient, and eternal, then God is infinity. And infinity is God, not a creator outside the universe, but the universe itself. All of it. Always. Now let's explore this further. Start with time. We experience it in a straight line, past, present, future. But if time is infinite, then that line has no beginning and no end. It stretches endlessly in both directions. And in an infinite timeline, anything that can happen will happen. Not just once, but an infinite number of times. Every version of your life, every choice, every possibility already exists. Somewhere, somewhen. The moment you are living now, you have lived before, and you will live it again. Forever. There is no such thing as a once-in-a-lifetime event in an infinite timeline, because everything that happens, happens again, an infinite amount of times.
Put a monkey at a typewriter and let him bang away at it forever. He'll eventually, almost surely, completely randomly type out the entire play of Hamlet, word for word. I mean, the odds are nanoscale that he's gonna hit all the right keys in a row on any given day, but over the stretch of eternity, across time without any limit, every event has some actual mathematical probability of really happening.
And now space. If space is infinite, and if matter is also infinite, then the universe is not just vast, it is endlessly full. There are no boundaries, no edge, no final frontier. In this infinite expanse, every possible object, every possible arrangement of matter already exists. Right now, there are exact copies of you living out slightly different, or wildly different, lives. There are versions of Earth where history took another path. There are planets with civilizations far beyond our own, and ones that never evolved at all. Every object that ever could exist already does, and already has, and already will. Because in infinity, the past, present, and future all blur into one eternal existence. It's not that time repeats, it's that time contains everything, and everything repeats because it must. Given infinite time and infinite space, every combination of particles, thoughts, lives, and worlds will happen, not just once, but endlessly. This leads to something remarkable. If everything must happen again, if the universe is bound to repeat itself, then time, in a strange way, loops. But it's not a loop you can step back into, because you can't travel backwards in time. Entropy doesn't allow it. The arrow of time points forward. But there's a secret way to go back to the past. By going forward so far that everything eventually returns to where it started. In an infinite future, every moment of the past will eventually be reconstructed. Not by rewinding, but by reoccurrence. The same particles, the same atoms, the same thoughts, all coming together again, exactly as they once did. Your past will not just be remembered, it will be lived again. Every breath, every heartbeat, every moment you thought was gone forever is simply waiting in the infinite future. Now think about what this means for death. If matter is infinite, and time is infinite, and possibility is infinite, then the configuration that makes up you is not lost. It is just scattered, broken into atoms, particles, energy. But those atoms are still moving, still changing, still colliding. And in an infinite reality, there is nothing stopping them from coming back together, exactly as they were, exactly as you are. If there is no limit to time, then every configuration of consciousness, including your own, must reappear. Again, and again, and again. This isn't faith. This is logic. This is the mathematics of eternity. So if your consciousness is just the product of a certain arrangement of matter, and that arrangement must happen again, then in a very real sense, you can never truly die, because you will live again, not in some other realm, not in some afterlife, but here, in this universe, in a future version of now. The you that you are now is infinite, spread across the ocean of time and space, dissolving, reappearing forever. And this brings us to the final, most difficult truth. Infinity can be understood, but not comprehended. We can map it out in words, we can follow its logic, we can visualize it on paper, but we cannot truly hold it in our minds, because infinity contains all minds, all thoughts, all comprehension. You are a single point within it, trying to understand the infinite totality that already contains you. It's like trying to see your own eyeball without a mirror. You can know it's there, but you cannot directly observe it. You can understand it, but you cannot comprehend it. Because comprehension requires containment, and infinity cannot be contained. And maybe that's the point. Maybe we're not meant to comprehend it. Maybe our role is simply to witness it, to reflect on its vastness, to feel its weight, its beauty, its terror, to realize that within this paradox we find not chaos, but meaning. Because if everything happens again, if everything already exists, if we are infinite, then every moment matters, because it's not just fleeting, it's eternal. This breath you're taking right now, you'll take it again. This thought, this feeling, it will return and return and return. Infinity is not just a number, it's not just a theory. It is the structure of reality, the soul of the universe, the essence of everything that ever was and ever will be. It is the only truth large enough to contain all other truths. It is the echo of existence, ringing out forever. And maybe that echo is God.